Mofokoane now joins us here in the studio. Just few hours now that you guys concluded that raid at the Kgoši Mampuru Correctional Centre. But tell us about that brief encounter with Vusimuzi Cat Matlala.
It was very brief, like you say, Aldrin. Literally, just before midnight, that's when we were moved to the CMEX section of Kgoši Mampuru Correctional Facility. And, you know, that facility, there's no network coverage. That facility, we know that only high-risk offenders are kept there, and that's where we found Vusimuzi Cat Matlala. You know, one can say it was by sheer coincidence, but, you know, it was instinct as well. The brief moment comes, we were not allowed to film. I must mention that
at the CMEX part?
At the CMEX part,
okay.
Yes. So the initial part of awaiting trialists, we were allowed to film at the BMEX section of the prison. But when we got to CMEX, we were advised not to film. Yes, we can go into the prison and prison cells and see the raid as it happens. And Vusimuzi's cell was raided as well. They searched, you know, for contrabands, for cell phones, for whatever illegal things may be in there. But it was at the very end where I threw in a question to him, just briefly asked him, is he concerned about the allegations leveled against him, you know, in making the news? Not bothered at all.
Yeah, what were his words?
Not bothered.
Not bothered at all?
Not bothered.
Okay.
At all.
And we know, of course, that he's facing attempted murder charges.
Yes.
And there was an explanation also from the Correctional Services Commissioner why he was being kept at the CMEX part of the Correctional Centre. But speak to us about the case that he is facing and the court appearance that is expected on Friday.
On the 11th of July, which is Friday, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala will be in the Johannesburg High Court. He's facing an attempted murder charge, and this relates to a 2023 alleged assassination of his former lover. We don't know the circumstances there, but we know that he's one of the suspects who, at the time, was charged. Actually, earlier this year, he was arrested earlier this year, around May, for that attempted murder, which happened in 2023. But, you know, we know as well that there are other 3 or 4 co-accused. We don't know the names yet, but I'm sure on Friday we will see those co-accused as well. But also, you know, in this story, we touch on Vusimuzi, the shady businessman with ties to at least, you know, the corridors of the policing structures within the country. Senzo Mchunu and Beleaguered. I mean, yesterday afternoon, we were in Pretoria, in Manlane, at this apartment, which is spoken about, which he leased, and at some point, you know, handed the keys over to Beleaguered to take occupants for some time there. So 360 million rands of a contract which he was awarded shortly before Beleaguered left the police service. He got that tender. That tender was cancelled days before he got arrested in about 6 months ago. But also, Aldrin, I must make it clear that this character we're talking about, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala, he's also, prior to getting the 360 million rands tender, there's also that question about the 3.2 billion rands Tembisa Hospital scandal, which he was mentioned in, and he was investigated at the time before getting this tender. And we talk of the late Babita Deokaran, who, you know, was a whistleblower in that case and has since was assassinated at the time.
Yeah, and just quickly as we wrap up, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala was not the only so-called person that enjoyed the so-called limelight at that moment, but there's also the likes of Thabo Bester and Rodovin Kretcher. Tell us about what you saw.
Who were in very good spirits. You know, I saw Thabo Bester. They opened the cell to Thabo Bester. The normal routine, the raid took place. You speak of Rodovin Kretcher as well, who lost a lot of weight. I didn't recognize him until the prison official told us that's Rodovin Kretcher, and we saw at the door. So you're talking Rodovin Kretcher, you're talking Thabo Bester, you're talking Vusi Keke, one of the famous, you know, crime kingpins in Mamelodi as well. Those are the guys that we witnessed at the CMEX division of that prison, and we're told that they are under 24-hour security guard. At no point is there no guard outside their doors. But Thabo Bester, in good spirit, was smiling. He doesn't have any laptop in his prison cell. They didn't find any contrabands. They didn't find any cell phone devices. What we witnessed, at least, was a stack of books. And prison officials are telling us that he enjoys reading. So at no point was any illegal substances or any illegal anything found in the CMEX section, at least, of that prison.
And Tobekgale, the Correctional Services Commissioner, saying that there's no way that he will be able to escape from the CMEX
Absolutely
prison.
not.
Okay, thank you so much. Scara, our reporter here.